Chapter 17. Princess Aisha was safe and sound, without the slightest scratch on the spot. A grey barrier in the shape of a torture's shell protected him from the fire spear's attack. Not only was Ariagos shocked, but even Princess Aisha was also shocked by what had happened. He looked at his wrist because the bracelet he was wearing was shining with grey light. It was a bracelet Zeal had given her that protected her from an attack. Thank you, Zeal. Princess Aisha smiled widely. She quickly understood what had happened earlier. She involuntarily burst into tears after knowing that Zeal still protected her, even though he wasn't with her. Princess Aisha felt very happy. I was no longer afraid, because there was a bracelet that Zeal gave her that would protect her. She remembered what Zeal had said that night. The bracelet will protect you when you are in danger. Princess Aisha didn't expect the bracelet's power to be this great, because the previous attack was strong enough to turn her into ashes. You seem to have something interesting that can create a barrier around you. Arigios smiled. He rubbed his chin and looked at the barrier protecting Princess Aisha. I don't need to answer a demon like you. Would I do this to the people of my kingdom? Princess Aisha shouted angrily at Ariagos. She gritted her teeth to hold back the tears about to spill out. She was sad to see many of her people killed by Ariagos. There's something wrong with that. What you said. Firstly, I am not a demon, and my race is nobler than those lowly beings. Second, my name is Arigos, of the god domain. I am only here to carry out the mission that has been given to me, and it is a secret mission, since the thing I'm looking for is your kingdom's territory. I have to destroy it first so I can more easily find what I'm looking for. Arigos hesitantly explained her identity and purpose to come to the Argent Kingdom. What? Should you be able to find that thing without having to kill people? From the kingdom, Princess Aisha couldn't suppress her anger anymore. She suddenly cast a spell on Arigo's Mercury spear. Princess Aisha opened 2 magic circles on her body, and third magic circle fainted started to form. Thousands of spears Mercury shot towards Arigos, but Arigos just laughed at the attack. Good. Please show me how strong you are after that. I will show you how helpless you are in front of our race. Arigos also released her spell to block Princess Aisha's attack. Firewall. In front of Arigos suddenly appeared a massive wall of fire, withstanding the attack from Princess Aisha. The Mercury spear instantly melted when it touched the flames. So it's just like this, your strength. Is this the only strength? Then I'll try how strong the barrier protecting you is. Arigos laughed as she laughed another attack at Princess Aisha. Thunderstrike. Boom. Thousands of lightning struck the barrier protecting Princess Aisha. But nothing happened, and not even the barrier was scratched. Arigos was surprised to see Princess Aisha safe and sound inside the turtle shell. He had no idea how strong the barrier was. On the other hand, Princess Aisha was also shocked at first. She thought the barrier would be destroyed, but it turned out that the turtle's shell was stronger than she had imagined. The barrier didn't even shake a bit after receiving Aria's attack. Who are you? Zeal? You give me I don't like this easily, Princess Aisha said in her heart. The more she thought, the more she became curious about Zeal's true identity. No way. Even that barrier didn't move in the slightest. Arigos shouted in disbelief at the scene before her. You better give up. You will not be able to break this barrier, Princess Aisha said confidently, but in heart she didn't know how far this barrier could last. Let's see how strong your barrier can last against my attacks. Arigos grinned as he continued, casting his spell. Thunderstrike, Fire Tower, boom. Arigos instantly let out his two most potent spell continuously. A pillar of fire accompanied by lightning struck Princess Aisha's barrier. Even impact of the attack should be felt throughout the city, but again Arigos was taking back. The shield that protected Princess Aisha remained intact from that combined attack. What kind of barrier is this? I had used all of my strength on the previous attack, but the barrier didn't even move an inch. Is that thing you have a saint rank artifact? Impossible. Where did this kingdom get something like this? Arigos became more and more curious about the object in Princess Sarisha's hand. Arigos' full attack could injure the human with a sage or saint level power, but the barrier in front of him wasn't even scratched. Arigos should only be angry about it. Meanwhile, Princess Aisha breathed briefly a sigh of relief that the barrier didn't break. She had been afraid of Arigos' attack earlier, but once again, she had underestimated the power of the barrier. Didn't I tell you before that you can't break this barrier? Princess Aisha spoke with a smile. She was happy to see Arigos looking frustrated. Don't be too confident in yourself, Chuck. Arigos shouted angrily because he felt humiliated by Princess Aisha's smile. And now you're angry at not being able to break this barrier. Are you a little man? Princess Aisha keeps mocking Arigos to make him even angrier. Do you think that's the only card I have? Arigos said with an evil smile. What do you mean? Princess Aisha suddenly frowned upon seeing Arigos smile. Bring it here. Arigos shouted at his subordinates. Two winged men carried a large box covered in cloth. Princess Aisha felt a terrible feeling after seeing that thing. What is that? Princess Aisha subordinate asked. Are you curious about what's inside this thing? Arigos said while teasing Princess Aisha. Princess Aisha's emotions were ignited after hearing Arigos' words, and a bad feeling in her heart deepened. Don't play with me. What's inside the box? Princess Aisha shouted fiercely at Arigos. Since you are impatient, then open the cloth. Arigos gave orders to his subordinates, who have brought the box. Princess Aisha's face sank after the cloth was removed, and tears flowing from her eyes. Behind the cloth was an iron cage. Inside were 3 unconscious girls, with their hands and feet bound in iron chains. Chapter 18. The 3 people locked inside the iron cage were people that Princess Aisha knew very well. Her sweet little sister, beautiful childhood friend, and loyal mate. Princess Aisha felt her chest hurt a lot when she saw their situation. Alice, Freya, Siesta, Princess Aisha shouted the names of the three people in the cage in a loud voice. Then she looked at Arigos with a face full of anger. What are you doing to them? Princess Aisha screamed from deep within her lungs, her emotions exploding after seeing the people closest to her in such a state. Yes, like that. I like to see your desperate face. Arigos laughed happily after seeing Princess Aisha's reaction. Let go of them, Princess Aisha shouted angrily at Arigos. She ran towards the iron cage. I was about to release the three girls, but Arigos followed. Following words made her stop. Don't be in a hurry, chicks. If you dare to approach them right now, I'll shoot a magic at them. You know, they don't have artifacts like you. They would have been scarred if they had received my full attack. Arigos threatened Princess Aisha and pointed his wand at the three girls, and a giant fireball was ready to be fired. After seeing that Princess Aisha could only stay where she was and didn't dare to act recklessly, she felt angry and sad and hopeless, and all the feelings were mixed in her heart. Princess Aisha bit her lip until it bled from feeling useless at such a time, but she knew that Ericus had another purpose in keeping them alive. What do you want from me? Princess Aisha ventured herself to ask Arigos. You're smart, but don't be in a hurry, chicks. How about we play a game for a bit? Arigos chuckled teasingly at Princess Aisha. Don't talk too much. Tell me, what do you want from me? Princess Aisha was annoyed to hear the words of Arigos. Haven't I said it before? Let's play the game. Don't you want to save those three girls? Arigos pointed at Princess Alice and other girls in a cage with his hand and wand. He wanted to show from his actions that he could fire magic at any time if Princess Aisha didn't do what he said. Stop threatening me and quickly tell me, what do you want to play? Princess Aisha grit her teeth after hearing Arigos' words. She had a bad feeling about the game Arigos mentioned. Fireball. Suddenly Arigos made two giant balls on the fireballs floating above the iron cage, where Princess Alice and Princess Faria and Siesta were meanwhile another fireball floating above a house not far from Princess Aisha. What Arigos had done left Princess Aisha confused. She didn't know why one of the fireball Arigos had created floated over the empty house behind her. But the bad feeling in her heart grew more prominent. Princess Aisha knew that Arigos couldn't possibly do that without reason. I will count to 10, and you have to choose which place you will protect. Once you choose, you have to run to that place as fast as possible, because I will drop the fireball. You have to protect that place with the barrier you have. I will give you a hint. There's someone in the house you might know. Isn't this game easy for you? Arigos smiled evilly. After explaining the rules of the game to Princess Aisha, Princess Aisha was confused and couldn't answer right away. She had the feeling that something terrible will happen no matter what she chooses. Princess Aisha kept looking at the empty house with a huge fireball floating above her. She thought about who was in the house while she was trying to think of an answer. Someone screamed, interrupting her. Princess Aisha. Theodore and Irina ran towards him. from the direction of the city gates. There have wounds all over the bodies. Fortunately, there were no serious injuries. Are you okay, Princess Aisha? Theodore approached Princess Aisha with an anxious face. He was too excited after seeing Princess Aisha and almost subconsciously hugged her. I'm fine. How are you? Princess Aisha backed off a little to avoid getting too close to Theodore. Theodore was annoyed after seeing Princess Aisha's attitude towards him. He felt that Princess Aisha was trying to keep her distance from him. Theodore wanted to reply that he was fine, but Ariana cut him off first. I'm fine. Princess Aisha, have you seen Princess Freya? She was kidnapped while I was busy suppressing the magical beasts at the city gates. Ariana asked Princess Aisha with a serious yet worried face. She looked around Princess Aisha. We couldn't find Princess Freya's figure. She is there. Princess Aisha pointed at one of the girls in the iron cage. What? Princess Freya? Ariana shouted angrily after she looked in the direction Princess Aisha was pointing. She saw Princess Freya unconsciously and tied up with iron chains. Ariana was furious after seeing Princess Freya's condition in the iron cage. She intended to free Princess Freya immediately, but Princess Aisha held her hand to stop her. What are you doing, Princess Aisha? Ariana said in a harsh tone. The only thing on her mind right now was to save Princess Freya from that iron cage. Calm down, Ariana. Look over there. Princess Aisha pointed towards a fireball above the iron cage. When Ariana saw the fireball above the iron cage, her face sank. She gritted her teeth in frustration as she almost accidentally harmed Princess Freya. You bastard! What do you do to Princess Freya? Ariana shouted fiercely at Arygos. I was playing a game with the princess. So shall we start the game? Arygos asked Princess Aisha. He laughed happily, and the two fireballs began to fall slowly. What game do you mean? The game? What kind of game is that, Princess Aisha? Ariana, Theodore asked Princess Aisha at the same time. That is, Princess Aisha explained everything that Arygos had said to Theodore and Ariana. Ariana and Theodore opened their eyes wide after hearing Princess Aisha's explanation. They didn't expect Princess Aisha artifact to be able to withstand the full power of a magic king. Princess Aisha, you have to save Princess Freya after all. They're your sisters. Princess Alice, as well as Siesta in that iron cage. You must protect their place. Princess Aisha, Ariana said impatiently and urged Princess Aisha to make up her mind quickly. Princess Aisha fell into a dilemma. When she heard Ariana's request, she still couldn't make up her mind, because she still didn't know who the people in the house were. What Ariana had said made sense, and she urgently had to make her choice. Just when Princess Aisha was about to choose, she suddenly heard a scream from the direction of the iron cage. Please don't do that, Princess Aisha. Inside that house is Zeal. Siesta's voice made Princess Aisha tremble like she was struck by lightning.